Hello and welcome to another journey back to the bygone times. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to look at this wooden box, round wooden box. Do you know who made this box? Well, let's flip it over and take a quick look. Alright, so we see a label here. It says Early American Old Spice, fashioned with the something quality of an early American product, a reflection of a period unsurpassed in gracious living. Shulton. Okay, so this is made by, or was made by Old Spice. They made a variety of boxes, or boxes in a variety of shapes and sizes to hold their various products. While Old Spice is known mostly today for their shaving products, including cologne and aftershave, they also produced, I think, women's cologne and perfume, but also powder, like talcum powder, and I think that's most likely what was in this box. They started making these types of containers in the late 30s, maybe around 1937, and definitely into the 40s and after. I think this box is probably from the 1940s, so somewhere around the World War II era. So pretty old, not really an antique, not 100 years old, but definitely older and collectible, and as they say on here, an early American, relatively speaking, early American. So while products from Old Spice came in these containers, they were made of wood, or at least veneered with wood, so that so in the case of like talcum powder, for instance, when you're done, you could take the puff out and use these as trinket boxes. And if you've noticed, as I've been turning it over, the sounds that you hear in there, we do indeed have some trinkets in here. I found these, or this box, as it is, as I'll show you here, with the trinkets inside. And the trinkets that we have today are a barrel of old buttons. So I don't know a whole lot about old buttons and antique buttons, or if any of these would even be antique buttons, but I thought it might be fun to kind of pour them out here and take a look at some of the varieties that we have. And actually there's some things other than buttons in there, as we can see. I have a spool of thread from Coats and Clark's, a 15-cent spool of thread. I have no idea how much a spool of thread would cost these days. Boil fast. Okay, so it's interesting find, if you will. Got some like rhinestone rubies or something here. Maybe it's supposed to be maybe a bracelet, I'm not sure. Looks like I have a needle. Alright, and then several different kinds of buttons. We have these all strung together. I mean, maybe, possibly these are buttons too. I guess that might be the case. I mean, they're buttons strung together. So these are a matched set, I suppose you might say. So you can put these on a brown garment or something, plasticky. Got a few metal buttons here. One with kind of a flower motif, a little bit of sparkle to it. It's kind of pretty. This one has a gold colored metal backing, and then glass balls, beads on the front. So some fancy buttons there for the clothing that folks might have been putting these on. So horse head button, maybe for some sort of a Western garment. Collection or set. Different colors of plastic buttons. This one with a little bit of a design on it. It's kind of fun to think about the different garments that these might have come off of, or that people had in mind for attaching them to, or making even from scratch when they bought the buttons, when they came across the buttons. Here's kind of a patriotic looking button with a, I think it's an eagle on the front of it. Let's see, what else do we have? All kinds of different buttons. I think my mother was probably interested in buttons at some point in her life, at least as she got into dealing antiques. And this would be one of those things I can imagine seeing in her shop. It was set to the side, and you put a per button price on it, or $5 for $1 or whatever it is. Like I said, I don't really know anything about older buttons or any buttons and potential value, or potential cost, I should say. Okay, there's some more of those eagle buttons. Kind of interesting looking. They're just begging for a navy blue blazer to go on. Different looking button. What is this one? A little flowery gold button. Little enameled flowers on it. It's pretty. Oh, may actually be earrings, because there's a match. I didn't look at the back, so I would have to call those earrings probably. Alright. So all kinds of different things in this little trinket box from Old Spice. Look at a few more of them. And I don't know about you, but I always, as a kid, and even now, I kind of like the sound of things like this. It's kind of silly, but I'm a baseball card collector, and I remember the sound of the cardboard kind of shuffling over each other would get me amped up to collect and sort and buy cards and stuff. And kind of appreciate the sound here. Marbles are the same way. Alright, that's enough silliness. So there we go. There is a collection of older buttons, probably not antiques, but older. And they live in this Old Spice, probably powder box, but now trinket box. Thanks for watching.